Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into Dissolve. It's that really compelling song and music video from Whispers of Aurorachrome.
Yeah, it's one of those pieces that really sticks with you, makes you think.
Exactly. And we've got Gemini's analysis here. It's this PDF, which is going to be our guide.
A deep dive into the deep dive, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. So our mission today is to kind of give you a shortcut, unpack its big lyrical ideas, and look at all the different ways you can interpret it.
Because there are multiple ways, definitely.
Right. And hopefully we'll uncover some, surprising bits hidden in there.
Sounds good.
So first off, the lyrics that Udio generated for Dissolve, they're surprisingly coherent, aren't they? Like they paint this picture of a really deep internal journey.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just random words. There's a real narrative thread.
So can you guide us through what Gemini found? What are the sort of the core themes that jump out from the analysis?
Well, Gemini really zeroes in on a few key repeating ideas. The first big one is the sense of internal conflict and duality.
Okay. The analysis mentions things like females' conflict of evil and disrepair versus good and hopeful, but it's also really personal in the lyrics themselves.
Right.
Lines like, shadows whisper my name, or dancing with specters in the mask that I wear. It's that classic battle within yourself, basically.
Yeah, that struggle between different parts of who you are.
Then, linked to that, there's this really strong feeling of isolation and being lost. The lyrics keep coming back with stuff like, alone I drift, no place to hide, lost in the echoes. Gemini even points out the phrase, both lost and enslaved.
Wow, yeah, like being cut off adrift somehow.
Exactly, totally unmoored. And this journey, it's clearly not presented as easy. Which brings us to the next theme, struggle and pain.
Okay.
Gemini highlights phrases like pain so divine, which is quite a striking phrase, isn't it?
Fine.
And also a heart that feels the violence, or a heart that feels destroyed, especially within the silence of sorrow. It's really raw. So not shying away from the difficult parts at all?
Not at all. But, and this is crucial, it's not just darkness. There's also this powerful undercurrent of searching and resilience.
Okay. So there's hope in there too.
Definitely. There's this unyielding drive to push through it. You get lines like, I long to be free, I search for the core, and then these more hopeful ones like, I'll rise like the dawn and I reclaim my night.
So even in the middle of being lost and in pain, there's this active fight back.
Precisely. A refusal to just give in to it all.
That's quite a complex picture, just from those core themes. It really feels like mapping out a whole internal landscape, for the darkness to the search for light.
Yeah, it lays a really strong foundation.
Okay, so we have that emotional bedrock. But what I find really interesting, and you mentioned it briefly, is how the song seems to use its own sound, its own structure, as part of the story.
Yes. That's one of the coolest things Gemini digs into. It's not just about the journey. The music is part of the journey.
How so?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on those poetic devices?
Sure. So first, Gemini talks about music as a guiding force. The lyrics actually say things like synths like a river or beats pull me deep.
Yeah.
And even more directly, let the bass guide me, and this killer line. In the bass line's pulse, my truth is found.
Wow. So the music isn't just accompaniment. It's like the guide rope through the darkness.
Exactly. It's the anchor, the thing you hold on to. And that ties right into the second point, the constant fluidity imagery.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of watertight words.
Totally. Currents, waves, float, drowning, tide. Gemini argues this is a really powerful metaphor.
A metaphor for what, exactly? Being overwhelmed.
Yeah, partly that. Being overwhelmed by emotion, definitely. But also for navigating this kind of uncertain, shapeless reality. A place where things, dissolve. Where you don't have solid ground.
That makes a lot of sense with the title, Dissolve.
Mm-hmm. And then there's one more layer. Gemini notes these little hints of cyber or paranormal elements.
Like what?
Words like cyber, phantom, specters, they pop up here and there.
What does that add, do you think?
Well, it adds this extra layer of mystery. Maybe something modern, maybe supernatural. It makes the struggle feel a bit otherworldly. Or perhaps technological, like being lost in a digital space. It just deepens the poetic feel, makes it less straightforwardly psychological.
Right, makes it feel bigger, maybe more abstract. So the sound guides you. The world feels fluid and uncertain, and there are these mysterious elements floating around. It really paints a picture, doesn't it?
It really does. It makes the whole internal thing feel very immersive, like you're experiencing it, not just hearing about it.
Yeah, totally. It taps into that feeling maybe you have sometimes of just drifting and trying to find something solid, like that baseline pulse.
For sure.
Okay, so given all this richness, the core themes, the sonic metaphors, the fluidity, it's probably not surprising that Gemini doesn't land on just one single meaning for dissolve. Right?
Exactly. And that's kind of the beauty of it. Gemini lays out 4 different but overlapping ways to interpret the whole thing. It's less about this is the answer and more about here are the different ways these lyrics can resonate.
Like looking through different facets of a crystal. So walk us through them. What are these different lenses?
Okay, so the first interpretation Gemini suggests is seeing it as a journey of internal struggle and resilience.
Right, that connects back to the core themes we talked about.
It does. This view sees it as diving deep into the turbulent inner world of a soul caught in a maelstrom of conflicting emotions. Very dramatic language, but apt.
Yeah.
It focuses on the currents of pain, navigating a labyrinth of doubt, but ultimately learning to reclaim the night, finding light even when it seems like there's only void. It's that classic hero's journey, but internal.
Okay, battling inner demons and coming out stronger. Got it. What's the second one?
The second is framed as a passage through mystery and transformation. This one leans more into those paranormal or maybe cyber vibes we mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Here, the song becomes this mysterious, almost paranormal realm where reality is fluid and shadows hold secrets. The person is lost in the echoes, maybe navigating a world overthrown.
So less purely psychological, more environmental or existential.
Kind of, yeah. It explores alienation, but also finds transformation through struggle. It suggests maybe strength comes from the despair or from navigating this weird, broken reality.
Interesting. Okay, number 3.
Third is a poetic exploration of sound and soul. This really focuses on the music itself as the core experience.
The guiding force idea again.
Exactly. It sees the song as an immersion where the lyrics tell a story of a spirit adrift on spectral waves in alien waters. It talks about melodies unbound in the dark and finding your truth in the bass line's pulse.
So it's about the experience of the music creating the meaning.
Pretty much. It's a journey through a symphony of chaos where you turn the pain into your own personal anthem led by the sound.
I like that one. Okay, and the last interpretation?
The fourth one Gemini offers is a metaphor for deconstruction and rebirth.
Deconstruction, like tearing down.
Yeah, exactly. It sees the lyrics as mirroring this profound internal shift, like a dematerialization of old pains, dissolving the old stuff, and the emergence of a resilient spirit.
So breaking down to build back up.
Precisely. It picks up on themes like being caught in a loop, the battery of emotions churning away, but then rising from the ashes. It emphasizes finding new strengths by moving through doubt and sorrow, embracing the realm of the unknown to become something new.
Wow. 4 distinct angles, but they all seem to connect back to those core ideas of struggle, searching, and transformation, just with different emphasis.
Exactly. They aren't mutually exclusive, they just highlight different facets.
It really shows how rich the source material is, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That it can support all these readings. It's like the song invites you, the listener, to find the meaning that resonates most with your own stuff.
Yeah, it's a testament to good art, I think. It acts like a mirror.
Definitely. Okay, so just to kind of wrap our heads around this dissolve, based on Gemini's analysis anyway, is this really deep, layered look at the human experience.
For sure.
You've got the internal conflict, the isolation, but also that powerful drive for resilience and even rebirth. And it's all packaged in this amazing sonic and lyrical landscape, using fluidity and the music itself as guides.
It covers a lot of ground, emotionally and poetically.
And Gemini's breakdown really gives you a great toolkit for appreciating all those layers. A shortcut to getting well-informed, like we aimed for.
Yeah, it maps it out nicely. And, maybe a final thought to leave people with. Consider how a piece of art like Dissolve, with all its talk of fluidity, dissolving, and internal states, how that might just mirror the way we all kind of live.
How do you mean?
Well, aren't we all constantly sort of deconstructing old ideas, old pains, and trying to rebuild or find something new? Maybe life itself is that continuous process of dissolving and reforming.
Huh. Finding our own truth within our own personal symphony of chaos.
Exactly. The song maybe pushes us to think about how we navigate that chaos, how we dissolve the old to make space for whatever comes next.
That's a really powerful thought to end on. It takes the song beyond just itself and connects it right back to, well, everything.
Maybe. Something to think about, anyway.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Dissolve. We really hope this gives you some new ways to think about it.
Yeah, hope it was useful.
Definitely encourage you to listen again with some of these ideas in mind and see what your interpretation is. Until next time, keep listening, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.